Hey everyone, and welcome to Chatverse Studio. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Katie.
And we are here for our very first video. So welcome everyone who is joining us today for our first video. So make sure you subscribe and like and comment to get us out there because this is something that we're really excited about.
And if you always want to be interested in our videos and be reminded of them, ding that little bell to get our notifications.
So today we're going to talk about things that are turning 10 years old in 2021. We are at the start of the year here in February, and we wanted to kick this off with our channel by just going over some things that turned 10 years old this year. We're going back to 2011, guys.
So to start off our conversation, we're going to dive straight into music that is turning 10 this year. Amongst some of the albums, the first one we have listed is Adele's 21, her album.
And is this the one that really kickstarted off her career? Or was there one beforehand?
I think this is one of the ones that made her like more big in the industry.
Yeah, because this is the one that's going to have, like, turning tables on it. Someone Like You. Rumor
wasn't Chasing Pavement on here? On this
yes.
one? Yeah.
And this was just something that it was, like, good, blast-worthy, belting songs. I remember that you heard her songs everywhere, and everyone just really, really liked her music. And I believe each album she puts out, it's based on her age. So I think she was 21 for her album 21.
Yeah, I believe that's how she was doing things. Yeah, I remember people would like, you just turn it up and you just like sing at the top of your lungs to Adele. And people still do that today.
Yes.
It's just kind of like a thing that's like a must do when you're listening to Adele. You can't just listen to Adele.
Yeah, definitely. And I do remember, during this time frame, Glee was a big, huge thing, and they did a mashup of two of Adele's songs, Rumor Has It and Someone Like You, and that's like one of the still most listened to songs from Glee when they do that mashup, and it is just so good. So yeah, that's another reason why we put this album on here. Well, at least for me, because I'm a big Glee fan. So.
I never watched Glee, but I knew
You're missing
certain parts. I don't know. I like saw maybe like an episode or two, but never like got into it.
Oh, I was very into it. I still am, because like last year I watched the whole thing through again too. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were into it probably because of like theater and stuff.
Yeah, I remember when the pilot came out and everyone would not shut up about it in choir the next day. Like no one would, like an a cappella choir in high school, like no one would stop talking about it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was a big thing amongst the choir kids and the theater kids.
So the next one on the list is Lady Gaga's Born This Way, and this had some of her most well-known songs on it, and it was just like an anthem for a lot of people, and it was just these songs that put out bizarre and awesome music videos, and more of her ridiculous costumes that I know I've watched the music videos back even today. You're like, wow, they're pretty interesting, but it's just, I guess, a reason why people liked Lady Gaga so much when she came out, because she pushed the boundaries. And
yeah, her like red carpet and like award ceremony outfits were always off the wall. I think like her meat dress turned either 10 or something this year. Yeah, I remember the one that it was like she was in an egg or whatever. Like,
that might have been for this one. So I think that really was it, because she came on the red carpet on an egg and she hatched on stage. And I think it was for Born This Way.
That was very
that.
And yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was weird. I do have to bring up Glee again, because they did a whole episode based around this, where they're all wearing costumes from her music videos. That was like a big, huge thing too in Glee. They did that. Sorry, had to bring it up again.
That's fine. We're gonna reference Glee a lot, apparently.
Sorry.
Next on the list was Rihanna's Talk That Talk, that album. Rihanna was big. She still is big, but she was very popular back then.
Yeah, that was one of the artists that many people were very obsessed with during that time period. I just remember a lot of girls just always talking about her songs, and that was like the height of her career, I feel like, so that also kind of explains it too. We have One Direction's album Up All Night.
They were huge back then, and I remember in high school even the guys would pull up in their cars blasting One Direction, singing What Makes You Beautiful out the window, like
oh my god. But yeah, this is when One Direction first started out, when like their album after getting off X Factor, was it?
Yeah, they were on. Yeah, it was X Factor.
So that like this was like, I feel like some of these songs are like still ones that you constantly hear.
Yeah.
Especially with
people still listen to them, and like people always wish that they like got back together after like breaking up and stuff. But like I remember when they auditioned for X Factor, they auditioned like individually, and then they got put as a group because like they weren't going to go through individually. So I know Simon Cowell like put them together and was like, make them a band, and then that's how they were born. Money. You're like, that's it. That's the one. It was big. It was big back then. 10 years ago, they were very big, and I know people like were crying and screaming when they broke up. You know, boy bands always break up. I mean, look at Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. You know,
Backstreet Boys are still together. What are you talking about?
Well, they are, but like
they took like a little break, but they're like still like going strong.
Yeah. Well, I guess
it's on the block. NSYNC, they got the axe. That's what they would need to say to that.
They're like, oh god, not these guys. So diving into the songs now that turn 10, the first on the list is Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO.
Yeah.
Was a big one. Yeah.
This was one that I feel like that if you went to a school dance that year, this was gonna be blasted.
Yeah, it was blasted on the radio. It was everywhere. It was used in commercials.
Oh, I know. And then now you don't even hear of them anymore.
No, I know. Like, what happened to them?
So moving on, we have We Found Love by Rihanna. That was also a very, very popular song that I don't know if it was really used in like movies or TV shows, but I believe there was a music video for that one, and that was a very popular on the radio that you heard a lot of, and that was also the height of her career too, so.
Yeah. And then next we have Someone Like You, which is Adele, and we talked about it before. We highlighted her album, but that was one of her big songs. It was like a chart topper, if I remember correctly.
Next we have Who Says. That was one of Selena Gomez's big songs when she was with a band called Selena Gomez and the Scene. This is when she was kind of tapering away from the Disney Channel, and she was with that band, and that was a very popular song that it was kind of like an anthem for girls in a sense, I feel like. A lot of the songs when it came to her and her band you probably couldn't name, but this was one that you heard a lot on the radio and was an anthem for girls that I feel like.
Yeah, because it was kind of trying to break down like different standards, like beauty standards and things of that nature that people face in society.
And you get your one next.
Oh yeah, I do. I get What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. And like I said, it was one of their biggest songs. Everybody with the music video and everything, it made people feel special. They thought they were singing directly to them. Yeah, that was when they were like babies. They were little.
No tattoos.
They were Harry had his like curly hair. You know, somebody that I used to know by Guido. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Or is it Godier?
Or something. I don't know.
One of those.
However you pronounce it. You all know. And the reason I put it on there is because of the music video. It's so weird.
I've never seen it.
Weird. You didn't watch it?
You told me to watch it and I didn't.
I did. Because it's very weird. He's like he's painted to blend in with the wallpapers behind him. It's
weird.
It's weird. It's almost kind of like stalkerish. It's like just weird. And that's why I put it on there, because everybody knew that song and everybody would talk about the music video and how weird it was. Oh, wow. And then people would sing it. And his voice is very weird. It's very weird. Wow. So if you have a chance, listen to it. If you don't know it, you should. People should know it. From, even though it's 10 years old. But.
So next up is Domino by Jessie J. This is when she became on the music scene. That's one that I feel like is still a popular song today. Mm-hmm. It might not be heard as often, but that's when people started to know who Jessie J was. So that's why I wanted to put that on the list.
Yeah. What was the other one that was like, that went bang bang into the room? That song.
That was with Ariana Grande, Jessie J, and
Nicki Minaj, I think.
Nicki Minaj. That was way later on, I believe.
Yeah, that one I just associate with her a lot. Because it's more of her, like, recent stuff. It's not as old. Next we have Feel So Close, which is Calvin Harris. I didn't listen to Calvin Harris a lot, so I'm not too familiar with this song.
I do remember this was used on the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Vampire Diaries, so.
Oh my god, so there's this scene, and Julia's gonna know what I'm talking about. I don't remember if Elena was in the scene, so Nina Dobrev, but I know that Ian Somerhalder was in it as Damon, and I know that he's dancing to this. And so that when I heard, like, you know when you hear these songs it's associated with moments, I just associate it with this Vampire Diaries moment. So that's why I had to put it on there. And Julia, when she watches it, she'll know what I'm talking about. So there's a song that annoyed a lot of people that was put out in 2011.
I didn't know you put this on the list.
Friday by Rebecca Black. That Friday, getting down on Friday.
I hated that song. I
had to put it on here for annoyance, and this is probably gonna really be like, people are gonna be like, oh my god, I remember that song, it was so annoying.
And her voice, she was always like, Friday. Exactly. I can't believe I did that on the internet. But yeah, that song. And the music video was weird. Like, she's getting into a convertible and just like talking about her like coming down the stairs and
I believe
cereal or whatever.
And the story goes that she made this music video with her friends or something, put on YouTube, and it went viral. Like, so there was something with that.
Yeah, it was weird, and I think it went viral because it was so annoying that
her
people
voice.
just made fun of it. That they were just like,
it was her voice.
It was, and I'm not doing the impression of her voice again because I don't want to do that. So next we have Skyscraper by Demi Lovato. That was one of her big songs too. I was trying to figure out if this was when she was starting to move away from Disney or if she had already moved away.
She already moved away from Disney at this point. This is when she came back after being, I don't know if this was her first public knowledge of her going to rehab. It was a very emotional music video that they put out, and I don't know if it was like on an award show or like American Idol or something that it was put out there, but it was when she was coming back from that and like resurfacing. I don't know if it was after the incident where she punched a backup dancer or something was going on.
It was something that she like,
her drug problem was getting kind of out of control, and everyone around her saw her spiraling out. So it might have been with that, but it was definitely when she was coming back onto the music scene.
After a difficult moment.
Yes. Next we have Stereo Hearts by Gym Class Heroes and Adam Levine. This is a song that I wish would be played on the radio more often. I just always loved this song when it came on.
Yeah. I always liked Adam Levine because I like Maroon 5 was one of my favorite bands, and I still listen to Maroon 5. Run the World Girls, Beyonce, is the next song. That was another one that was kind of for the movement of like breaking barriers of society. for young girls to, you know, show that they have worth and that they're important.
Mm-hmm. So now we have another one by LMFAO. This was Sexy and I Know It. This is another song that it was played so much in 2011 that when you hear it, it'll just get ironed in your brain for a little bit.
Oh yeah, and the dances to it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't unsee them.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
And then the next one is Good Feeling by Flo Rida. That one was a very, very popular song that I feel like was in commercials. You know, like it was a very popular song during that time. We keep repeating that. It was very popular during that time. Very popular. So sorry, it's probably been overstated.
Yeah.
But it's
I think
the
because
truth.
It's the truth, and then it's kind of like, how else do you explain it?
Yeah.
Besides being like some weren't always chart toppers. They weren't always number ones. A lot of them were, but not always. And then the last song is Heartbreak by The Fray. Heartbeat? Oh, I saw a break. It's Heartbeat. Guys, see, this is why, you know what? I didn't know this song. That's what I'm going to go with. I didn't know this song. I know who The Fray are.
Yeah, are they even still around anymore?
I don't know. But didn't one of their albums, like, have a light bulb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might have been for this one. I just know that was during that time frame, Vampire Diaries, bring that up again, they would play a lot of their songs on there, or TV shows during the 2011 time period, because that's when they were popular. So this song, I do not know if it was necessarily in a TV show, but I remember hearing this on the radio a lot. So now we're going to leave the music category. We're going into the movies category. In some of these, it's hard to believe that they are already going to be 10 years old.
I know.
It's very hard to believe. Some of them, yes, it's believable. But some of them, you're like, wait, that's already 10 years old?
Oh, I know. Like, you think it wouldn't be 10 years old, but it apparently is.
So the first one on this list is Just Go With It. I love this movie. That's going to be the one with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
I'm trying to think if I've seen that one.
Just Go With It. He's the plastic surgeon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes, and it's the whole thing, like, with the Hawaiian, like, they go on this vacation with her family.
Yeah, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, really funny, popular rom-coms. That I can't believe it's already 10 years old.
So the next one on the list is Footloose, but it was the remake one.
Yes. Did you ever watch that one?
No, because I only watched the one with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. So I'm a huge Footloose fan. Fun fact, I was actually in Footloose my junior year of high school. And it's a musical that in a movie I've loved for a very long time. So I'm pulling out some nostalgia right here. So I've got CDs. Kids, if you don't know what CDs are, these are what CDs are.
If you don't know what CD is, you can't be on this.
This is the Footloose CD with Kevin Bacon, but I have the CD for the remake with Julianne Hough is in it. So,
no. I have seen the remake.
A lot of people kind of trash talked about this because they love the first, like, the original so much. I view them as independent movies, and I love them both so much. So there's my take on that.
Yeah, I do remember it now that you showed me the CD art. That it was Julianne.
There we go. It's not gonna reflect.
Yeah, I did like that one. I did.
Yes. The music in it was amazing. So next up, we have Captain America: First Avenger. Oh my God, this is already 10 years old.
How is it 10 years old? I feel like it was like just yesterday that Chris Evans was becoming Captain America.
I can't get over this. When I saw this on the list, I do remember the first time I watched it, I didn't like it. For some reason, I just didn't. But when I watched it back after like watching Avengers and stuff, like I love that movie.
Yeah, I was kind of like unsure of the character of Bucky Barnes on in the first one because I was just kind of like, he seems random.
Fun fact, he was on Gossip Girl.
Yes, he was. He played a rich kid that got in trouble a lot.
Rich kid turned soldier, what?
Yeah. How did he get there? And then he just fell off a train, you know?
I just had to blurt that fact out.
There's no spoilers because these things are old and you should have seen them by now.
Yep.
And if you got offended by a spoiler, I'm sorry. But you should have seen them. The iconic him coming out of the machine all big.
Yes. I'm sorry, it's just so good. Puny CGI, little pipsqueak, and he comes out.
His head looks so weird. His head looks so weird when he was like a pencil. A pencil. He was like a number 2 pencil, and then he became this Ken doll looking thing. Man. We're leaving Captain America's buffness.
I was just saying we're leaving him in the buff.
His buff. No, he was only half. He had pants on. Calm down. No. Now we're leaving the Marvel universe and traveling into the wizard world of Harry Potter. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
I've never seen this one.
I've never watched any of them.
You haven't seen any of the Harry Potters?
I've seen bits. Yes, bits and pieces. I've seen bits and pieces.
I've only seen the beginning stuff. I haven't seen this. The Harry Potter fans are going to come out to get me. I have a feeling.
It's okay. I tried to subdue them with going into the wizard world of Harry Potter. That transition, I tried to subdue them, but I don't watch Harry Potter.
I really never got into it, honestly. So
yeah, no, it wasn't something that I really wanted to watch.
Next up is Bridesmaids. I've never seen this one. So
this one is hilarious. It's hilarious. I would recommend watching it. All of the cast are just like so funny together. They go on this like wild adventure and they end up like at the bridal shop and they had like some sketchy food. They had some sketchy food. So they're like in the bridesmaids dresses, in the brides dresses, and they're like, some of them went in the bathroom and are like going to the bathroom. God. The one's like going to the bathroom in the sink, and the bride was wearing the bridal gown. She ran outside because she felt like so sick, and she's like in the middle of the street, and she ruins that bride dress, that bridal gown, just wedding dress. Why did I say bride dress? Wedding dress. Yeah, it's funny. I recommend watching it. It's hysterical. Like you will be like cry laughing watching that movie because Melissa McCarthy is in there. It's hilarious. Diving back into Marvel is Thor. The first Thor turns 10 this year.
I can believe that one turned 10.
Yes. And I can tell you that I did not like his hair and eyebrows in the first one. It was too bleached.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched this fully through. The first 2 Thors, it was like in the background, like while playing a game or something, but I've never really gotten into like Thor. I know I'm a huge Marvel fan, but Thor, I like him in the Avengers and stuff, but like solo stuff, I don't know.
What was it? Was it the second one?
The Dark World? Or Ragnarok's the third one.
No, it's Ragnarok. Yeah. That one's hilarious.
I've seen that one. That one I enjoyed.
Yeah, that one I felt like they let him like bring out his actual personality. Let Chris bring out his actual personality in that one. Because there was a lot of improv in that and it was like funny to see that. But yeah, I didn't like how bleached out his hair or eyebrows were in that one. It kind of
I know what you're talking about.
It looked weird. But those, like, the behind the scenes of, like, the new one of the
yes,
Love and Thunder, I was like, there's Thor.
Because Chris Pratt's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Pratt.
People you probably tell by now who we like.
The Marvel guys.
Yes. So the next saga we're going to go into another series is the Twilight series. This is the Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 1. I've never, ever, ever been a fan of Twilight. There, I said it.
I hate it.
Sparkly vampires and crap.
I hate it.
Glitter.
Oh, we shimmer in the sunlight. No, I hate Twilight. Hate it. Oh my god, I remember.
I am team Vampire Diaries all the way. Like I've brought up before, it's so much better than Twilight. I'm sorry. Those vampires are better than Twilight. Ugh.
I'm a Supernatural person. I watch Supernatural. I prefer that. And those vampires in there are a little bit more realistic. And they're not, it's more about the hunters in there. So
since we don't like Twilight, we're not going to give it any more screen time right now.
No, we're just going to skip over those twinkly guys. Okay, so the next one is The Hangover Part 2. Is the next movie that turns
Never seen it.
The Hangover movies are funny. They are very funny.
I just remember people are obsessed with this. Like my guy friends back in high school, like, or just people in general, like not recently, no one's really brought up The Hangover, but oh my god, they were obsessed with it.
They were playing some of them last year on TV, and I like watched them again.
Are they that good? Like that people talk them up to be?
They are very funny. Because it's a whole premise. Like one of them always goes missing. There's like they always end up like something like getting really drunk and getting like there's like they get like roofied and stuff, and so they don't know anything that happens, and then the morning after they wake up and they're like, why is there a tiger in the bathroom? Like, what is going on?
Okay.
They're funny. Somebody loses their finger, why, like, where'd their finger go? Like,
oh boy.
And it's always before like somebody's getting married and like, yeah.
Well, okay then. It sounds like it could be funny. I'm not trying to diss it. It's just I've never seen it. Didn't know what the hype was, I guess.
They're funny when you watch them. Trying to explain them, it kind of is like, that's weird. Like, why would you watch that? But
okay, next up is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. I've only seen Pirates of the Caribbean 1 and 2. Sorry, Katie. I know you like pirates.
There was the time where I was like very into Pirates of the Caribbean, and I've seen all of them minus the like latest one. I didn't watch the latest one.
Was this one good on Stranger Tides?
Yeah, it was okay. It was all right. I mean, the first two were like the biggest ones. They kind of like the storyline kind of like dwindled as you went on with them. I mean, I didn't watch the latest one. I can't even remember what that was called. The
Dead
last
Man
one.
Tell No Tales.
Yeah. That has like Will Turner's son in it or whatever.
So I know when I was in Disney in 2017, I remember like they had posters and stuff up around the parks.
The next one is X-Men First Class. That's the one where they're younger, right?
I don't know. I never got into X-Men, and I've gotten some crap about it because I haven't watched it from some of my friends. I just never got into them. I might maybe now go and watch it if they're going to be bringing them like into the like the Marvel universe that we know of right now. But during that time period, did not. X-Men though was during a time frame when like that was the huge superhero movies of that time, so that's why I wanted to put it on there. So that's why it's
it was a they were big back then. I remember I hated this. It wasn't in this one, but I hated how they did Deadpool originally in X-Men. It was awful because they still have the same actor playing Deadpool, but in the X-Men movies, when they did Deadpool, they made him have no mouth.
I have seen clips of that, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
The whole thing about Deadpool is his sarcasm and everything that he says. So the fact that they took his mouth, like,
ooh,
I hated it. But they redeemed it by making the actual Deadpool movies and still having Ryan Reynolds be Deadpool. Mm-hmm. Because I could not see anybody else besides Ryan Reynolds be Deadpool, honestly. That was just a side note.
That's fine. Okay, so we are leaving the movie category and we're going to go into TV. Now, during that time, streaming wasn't really a thing, really popular. It was all like, well, what's on cable, like cable TV tonight, or what's on network television. And there was a lot of things either going on the air or going off the air that we wanted to kind of talk about, that sometimes it's like, wait a minute, that started or ended 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. The first one on the list is a popular ABC TV show that I loved it. It was Once Upon a Time, where they would go and take all these fairy tales and put them together and really like warp the storyline and make them like interconnected in really cool ways. Did you watch Once Upon a Time?
I didn't really watch Once Upon a Time. I know about it and I know what they do with like different stuff. And I know like people are big on Captain Hook from that series.
Yes. The next one is Austin and Ally, which that is when it premiered on the Disney Channel. A lot of people will say that was when Disney Channel was still somewhat in their prime with the shows they would put out. And I watched this a lot when I was in college. But I really, really liked this, and it's still very funny to watch it back with the cast. It was, I don't know, it's just one of those shows that I would put in the category of like, that was good, like That's So Raven and stuff, but that's just my personal opinion. That's when it first came on the air on Disney Channel. Next.
Smallville.
Yes. So Smallville, actually wait, no, this is, okay, I'm going to still put this in here. I'm so stupid. No, what? This is when Smallville ended, so that's the wrong one. This is the one that needs to be up here.
Is that is that one of the, like, DVDs or something?
Yes, I only have 3 seasons for some weird reason on DVD, but I have the final season. I'm like, wait a minute, this is when it ended. So this is when Smallville ended. This was one of my favorite shows. My Tom Welling obsession.
I think I only saw, like, the first season, like, the earlier parts of it.
It's so sad, 'cause this is when it ended, and it was on for 10 years. Another important thing that was going on in the air is Steve Carell made his very last appearance on The Office as being a regular. I know there's a lot of huge Office fans out there, so I feel like that was really important that when he wasn't on it anymore. So that's why I put that one in.
Yeah, it totally like changed the tone of the show.
Yes.
When he wasn't on there.
And then during that same time, Charlie Sheen was fired on 2.5 Men for all of his winning, all of his craziness, and Ashton Kutcher replaced him. That was a big deal in the fall.
Yeah, that was.
Do you want to talk about the next one?
Sure. So the next one is Game of Thrones on HBO. I really enjoyed this. Was kind of disappointed with the final season, as was probably everyone. But the first time it aired was 10 years ago. And I really loved it because they worked with the writer of the book. So it translated really well to the scripts and everything. So everything pretty much lined up until they took liberty and did what they wanted for the ending, because the writer, George R. R. Martin, is not finished with things. So they were like, we need to finish this. So they just took their liberty and finished it. But if you've never watched it, I would say watch it. I don't know how to explain it. There's different, I don't want to say tribes, but different like people in it that like you have people that are, they're all fighting for a throne, like to be the like sole person over the entirety of Westeros. And you have the Lannisters, which they're like lions. That is their sigil. And then you have the Starks, which they're dire wolves. So they have, and the Starks do have some dire wolves. And the only one, if you haven't watched it, spoiler, the only one that remains, well, there's two that remain, is Ghost, which is Jon Snow's, and then Nymeria, which is Arya's. And then there's the Targaryens, which they have dragons and all that kind of stuff. There's different families that fight for the throne. Cool. There's obviously more than that, but those are the main ones, is the Targaryens, the Lannisters, and the Starks.
In 2011, Tim Allen made his way back to sitcom land, I guess you would say, where he took a break from movies and stuff, and he went back to TV, and he premiered in Last Man Standing. And I'm a huge Tim Allen fan, so I want to make sure that I put that in there, that's when that show premiered on TV.
Yeah.
And that's when it started first on ABC.
Yeah, before they decided to take it off, and then it was picked up again by
Fox.
Yeah. I like that show. I do watch that one.
Next up, we have Hannah Montana, and that was their series finale on the Disney Channel in 2011. So that was kind of monumental because it was a big deal back then. So
yeah, because that was like one of a long-running show. Besides like the big ones like Lizzie McGuire, That's So Raven, and all of those things. That was, for that time period, Hannah Montana was a big long runner for Disney.
Another big one that I feel like people still talk about online. I never watched it, but people made a really big deal out of Friday Night Lights.
I watched it. I watched it on Netflix because I didn't really catch it when it was on TV. But I binged it on Netflix. It was good.
Oh. Yeah, that's when its series finale was in 2011.
Yeah.
Also, I know you watched this show, Greek. That was their series finale on ABC Family in 2011.
I loved that show, and I was sad when it was ended. It dives into what Greek life would be like, and just seeing the sororities and fraternities and everything. It's a really good show. If you like Gossip Girl, you would like Greek.
Cool. And then another monumental ending thing on Disney Channel was the Sweet Life on Deck series ended. That was the spinoff of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. So that's when Dylan and Cole Sprouse finally ended their whole series with Disney Channel. So that was a big deal because they were on there for a while having two shows. So.
Yeah, they pretty much like grew up on Disney.
Yeah,
they were like little when that show started. And then that was the branch off that you said that took place on a cruise. So leaving TV shows, we're going to go visit products that came out 10 years ago. So the iPhone 4S came out. I didn't have an iPhone back in 2011. Spoiler alert. Thing you might want to know about me. I did not have it. I had a touch screen phone, but it was an Android. I didn't have an iPhone. At the time. And then Nintendo 3DS came out. I know that was big because I had a regular one and then I did have a 3D one because it kind of just changed how games looked. Yeah. Google Play Music came out 10 years ago. I don't really use Google Play, so sorry, Google.
But that was important because that's when it officially launched. So.
Yeah. And then the Kindle Fire came out. And then Minecraft was released. Minecraft is very popular and it's still kind of popular to this day, but it was so popular. Like everybody played it. Now I think it's more so like kids will play it.
Or people get very technical and will build like theme parks and like ridiculous things on there.
Yeah, some of the YouTubers that I personally watch, are gaming YouTubers. So they played Minecraft a ton back then. And then they did stuff like more recently that they revisited it for a short period of time, just to kind of like give homage to it.
Well, so that's it. We went through a lot of stuff. We hope we brought back some type of nostalgia or memories back for many of you watching this.
And the 10-year mark is big for us too, not only on the pop culture stands, but for our own selves, because it is our 10-year reunion of high school. Yes, everyone, we are that old.
Graduated from high school in 2011, so that's why some of this stuff is kind of ironed into us, because we associate it with that time period of our life. So
yeah, and it's kind of weird to think that like some of this like was big to us back then, because like you wouldn't think that 10 years ago when they were like, oh, where do you see yourself in 10 years, you didn't think like it would happen that fast, but here we are 10 years later.
Yes, very strange and weird.
Yes.
Okay, everyone, so thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and join us next Thursday for our next video. And thank you for joining us in the Chatverse.